Most of the time when these people be talking, I don't even hear them. They talk and they talk, but I do not hear shit when I'm near them.
Hey guys, how's it going? I am bringing you guys a Vegas mock draft as it is less than 3 hours away from the NHL awards, which the team will finally be revealed sometime tonight. As we get close to the draft, I figured we might as well select some of the players that I believe will be selected, as there's been many rumors. I have not put the rumors as my selections. This is strictly who I choose, who I thought will make the team, and who they'll select. I don't know if there will be many different draft picks being traded to protect other players. I guess we'll find that out tonight. But from the Anaheim Ducks, I chose Sami Vatanen, as he is a good young player. He has a ton of upside. Is still under contract for another 3 years, I believe. You can't go wrong with that. From the Arizona Coyotes, I selected Jamie McGinn. There's not too much I can say about him. I'm not huge on the Coyotes, so there's not too much I could choose from. Don't know a ton of the players. From the Bruins, I decided to choose Colin Miller, as he's a young defenseman. I'm not sure if the Bruins have made a trade, but I believe they would try to protect Joe Morrow, as he's 24 years old. He's a restricted free agent. But yeah, I believe that they'll leave Colin Miller exposed. Either him or McQuaid will go. From the Buffalo Sabres, I heard that there are talks that they are going to trade a draft pick so they can protect certain players, and I believe that they'll end up selecting Zach Bogosian. He's only 26. His contract will be done by the time he's 30. It's not that bad of a contract, and I would honestly prefer to protect somebody such as, I don't know, William Carrier, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's either going to be him or Matt Molson. I've heard rumors of either one of them going to Vegas. And from the Calgary Flames, I believe they are going to select Brett Kulak, as he's a young defenseman. He's an RFA, as I believe you're allowed to select 10 guys who are not under contract for next season, as they will have his rights regardless. Carolina, I believe it's a no-brainer. Lee Stepniak over here, he tore it up this year. He's still under contract for another year at a decent price. Chicago, it's already pretty well confirmed that Van Riemsdyk and Kruger are going to Vegas, but as I can't select both of them, I am just going to take Van Riemsdyk. From Colorado, I believe that there's going to be some draft picks being traded so they don't select players like Grigorenko, Soderberg, and my selection will be they have a goalie in Calvin Pickard. The Columbus Blue Jackets are already confirmed. They're pretty well trying to keep Jonas Korpisalo, Jack Johnson, and Matt Calvert, so that leaves William Karlsson, who's an excellent young centerman with tons of upside. From Dallas, it's a tough one. I think they're not going to touch any of the goalies for sure. Probably not going to go near Dan Hamhuis. So my selection would have to probably be Jamie Oleksiak, a big defenseman. I believe he's 6'7". Again, he's a restricted free agent. So they do have his rights. And from the Detroit Red Wings, as you see, there's Nicholas Kronwall, Jonathan Ericsson, players like that. Darren Helm would be nice, but I believe with 1 year left on his deal at just over $2 million, even though he only scored 2 goals all year, it'll be Riley Sheahan, low risk, high reward. It's 1 more year on his deal. They need contracts. From the Edmonton Oilers, it's a tough one. It's either going to be Chris Russell. I believe they're in contract talks with him, so I'm not going to have to select him. But my selection will be Benoit Pouliot, as they're probably going to try to trade a draft pick to get rid of a bad contract. And yeah, that's a pretty bad contract, but for an expansion team who he could have put up around 40 points, could be a lot worse. Could play in your top 6 for sure. From the Florida Panthers, this is a no-brainer. Jonathan Marchessault. I do hear that there is a deal in place so that they don't select him, but I'm hoping this is not the case, as he is an excellent player. Still under contract for 1 more year at $750K. Honestly, can't get better than that. Kind of hope Vanek goes there, redeems his career a little bit. Maybe even Yager to end his career. Hopefully it doesn't end. He's still got a ton left in the tank. From the LA Kings, I chose Braden McNabb. He's under contract for another year. He's 26 years old, tons of upside. But I've also heard that there is a deal in place that they get, I believe it's a first and a second to take on Dustin Brown's contract, or potentially Marian Gabourik's, which honestly both of those contracts are terrible, as Brown has just dropped off in his career. He's still under contract for another 5 years, and Gaborik is already 35, under contract for another 4. The Wild, I believe it'll be Erik Haula no matter what, as how could you not select him? I mean, you have Dumba, Scandell, and Stahl, but I believe that they have a trade in place to protect those 3. I believe it's probably like a first and a second. From the Montreal Canadiens, I have Charles Hudon. He was over a point per game player in the minors. He's restricted free agent 2019. Left exposed, 22 years old, tons of upside. So I don't see why they don't take him. Either Hudon, Plekanec, or Emelin. Potentially Nesterov, I'm not sure. But if I were Vegas, I would choose Charles Hudon. From the Predators, I believe it's going to be James Neal. Like, how can you not select the guy? He scored 40 goals not too long ago. $5 million contract helps you get closer to that cap floor. From New Jersey Devils, this is a tough one. I could have went with Camilleri, who has 2 years left on his deal, but I mean, he is 35 years old. Definitely wouldn't want to have that contract laying around. I mean, sure, they're going to probably have tons of cap room, but I decided to go with John Merrill here. He's a good young defenseman. Good contract. Definitely can't go wrong with that. Playing your bottom 6, potentially top 4 one day. Now, the New York Islanders was a tough one, as I believe there's another deal in place so that they don't select Prince, Nelson, and Strome, I believe it is. And for that, I decided to choose Calvin DeHaan. He's a great young defenseman, former first round pick. Again, you could choose somebody like Nikolai Kuhlman. The Rangers, I decided to choose Michael Grabner. Could choose Kevin Klein. Definitely couldn't go wrong with that. From Ottawa, there's talks. They're getting a lot, but potentially also Bobby Ryan. It's a give or take. Honestly, can't go wrong with either one of them. From the Flyers, there's talks that they're already in contract talks with Jordan Wheel, so I believe he will be their selection. From Pittsburgh, obviously Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, you could get somebody like Carl Hagelin, Chris Kunitz. Honestly, probably not Chris Kunitz, but Carl Hagelin for sure. But how could you say no to Marc-Andre Fleury? From the Sharks, I believe it'll be Michael Boedker. There are talks that it'll be Schlemko, but I would choose Boedker over Schlemko. From the Blues, I know probably everyone does not like this, but it'll be Yakupov. From the Lightning, I believe that Piquet, 23 years old, good contract, another year. Playing your bottom six for sure. From the Leafs, it'll be Brandon Lipsick. From the Canucks, I hope it's Brendan Gaunce because he is awful. I'd rather keep Lucas Spiza. From the Capitals, they need another goalie, so we will be taking Philip Grubauer. And there's already a trade in place to keep Tobias Enstrom, even though he's who I would prefer. They will be taking Marco Dano. And yeah, that is my NHL expansion draft list. I hope that this is the closest it can come. Honestly, it'd be a pretty nice team. Comment below who you have Vegas taking, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.